Symbolism. Baphimet, the imaginary idol, or rather symbol, which the Knight Templars were accused of employing in their mystic rites. The 42nd of the charges preferred against them by Pope Clement is in these words: Idem quod ipsi per singulis provincias habitant idolia videlet capita quorum aliqua habitant tre facies et alia unum et aliqua cranium humanum habitant. Also, that in all the provinces they have idols, namely, heads, of which some had 3 faces, some one, and some had a human skull. Von Hammer, a bitter enemy of the Templars, in his book entitled The Mystery of Baphimet Revealed, revived this old accusation and attached to the Baphimet an impious signification. He derived the name from the Greek words baptism and wisdom, and thence supposed that it represented the admission of the initiate into the secret mysteries of the order. From this gratuitous assumption he deduces his theory, set forth even in the very title of his work, that the Templars were convicted by their own monuments of being guilty as Gnostics and Ophites, of apostasy, idolatry, and impurity. Of this statement he offers no other historical testimony than the articles of accusation, themselves devoid of proof, but through which the Templars were made the victims of the jealousy of the Pope and the avarice of the King of France. Others again have thought that they could find in Baphimet a corruption of Mohammed, and hence they have asserted that the Templars had been perverted from their religious faith by the Saracen, with whom they had so much intercourse, sometimes as foes, and sometimes as friends. Nicolai, who wrote an essay on the accusations brought against the Templars, published at Berlin in 1782, supposes, but doubtingly, that the figure of the Baphimet, which
Baphimet got titties, y'all. Y'all see that? The Baphimet is transgender. Did y'all know that? Yeah, I got the photos on it. It's a transgender, and that's the agenda they're trying to push, ladies and gentlemen. These Dixiecrats are down with the Baphimet. Satan, the devil himself. They push the transgender everything. Look. Let's go.
which was depicted on a bust representing the Creator, was nothing else but the Pythagorean pentagon, the symbol of health and prosperity, borrowed by the Templars from the Gnostics, who in turn had obtained it from the school of Pythagoras. King, in his learned work on the Gnostics, thinks that the Baphimet may have been a symbol of the Manichaeans, with whose widespread heresy in the Middle Ages he does not doubt that a large portion of the inquiring spirits of the temple had been intoxicated. Amid these conflicting views, all merely speculative, it will not be uncharitable or unreasonable to suggest that the Baphimet, or skull of the ancient Templars, was, like the relic of their modern Masonic representatives, simply an impressive symbol teaching the lesson of morality, and that the latter has really been derived from the former.
The god Baphimet. This is the god that the Templars were supposed to have been worshiping when they came back from the Crusades, and the Pope and Philip le Bel condemned Jacques de Molay, who was the head of the Templars at that point in time, and they scattered to Portugal and Scotland. Of course, resurfaced later as the organization of Freemasonry. But again, this is the god of Freemasonry. Now, how would you like to be the wife of a Mason and suddenly come to realize, and suddenly come to realize what your husband is into. And he has taken a note, hasn't he? He's not going to tell you what he's into. Now, what I like to do when I can, I like to read the occult zone books. And I have a book here called The Evolution of Freemasonry, written by a Freemason, published by McCoy Publishing Company, which is a Masonic publishing company. Some of you will really enjoy this. I just tossed it in here because I thought it was interesting. It's in this book on page 89. There's a picture of Martin Luther, and it says, Martin Luther opened the way for the future development of Freemasonry. In the book, 10,000 Freemasons, 10,000 Famous Freemasons, written by a Freemason, there is an individual who was a cohort of Martin Luther, who was himself a Freemason. And so was...
He's not talking about Martin Luther King, ladies and gentlemen. This was before Martin Luther King time. Let's go. Just to clear it up, that's all. Because a lot of y'all say, oh, Martin Luther? Nah, he's not talking about Martin Luther King. It was a guy named Martin Luther that he's talking about. Let's go.
Luther himself a Mason? I don't know.